Nobody saw it coming. Lewis Hamilton, the face of Mercedes for over a decade, agreeing to drive for Ferrari in 2025. That alone felt like the final twist in a long, dramatic tale. But just as fans began adjusting to the shock, another unexpected headline started making waves. The man who has been Hamilton's right hand on the radio for years. The calm voice behind each race-defining call, Peter or Bono, as most in the paddock know, him is now rumored to be heading to Ferrari too. Yes, the same Bono who made phrases like "It's Hammer Time" legendary, could soon be steering operations inside the famous Red Garage. It feels almost unreal, a figure so deeply tied to the identity of Mercedes possibly swapping sides and wearing red. But this is more than a rumor. The whispers have grown louder, and what once seemed impossible might just be around the corner. Bonnington is far more than a race engineer. He has been Hamilton's anchor in the chaos, the voice guiding him through hypersure moments, tire management challenges, and those last laps that define titles. If there's anyone whose voice is stitched into the soundtrack of Hamilton's F1 history, it's his. When Ferrari made their first move in 2024, it appeared to be a long shot. Bono had just taken a major step forward at Mercedes, moving into a bigger role focused on mentoring upcoming talent like Kimi Antonelli. He was deeply involved in shaping the next phase of the team's future. His decision to turn down Ferrari, at the time, made total sense. His loyalty to Mercedes was unquestionable, and Toto Wolff had given him responsibilities beyond race weekends. Fast forward to now, and things have shifted. Ferrari's project for 2026 is ramping up fast, and Hamilton's presence is already having a visible impact. Suddenly, the idea of Bono joining him doesn't feel like fantasy anymore. It's starting to feel possible. Right now, Bonnington finds himself caught between two powerful forces. On one side, Mercedes, the team he helped build into a modern powerhouse. On the other, Ferrari, eager to rebuild and offering him a central role in their comeback story. Ferrari's 2025 plan was bold from the start. They didn't just sign Hamilton, they rolled out the red carpet. From reshuffling staff to altering garage layouts, everything screamed of change. It was more than just hiring a top driver, it was a statement of intent. They were aiming not just to compete, but to return to the top. For a while, the mood around Maranello felt electric, but it didn't last long. Just a few races into the season, familiar cracks began to show. The buzz turned to concern. Old problems resurfaced. Communication during races became unclear, pit stops were slow and disorganized, and their race day strategies left fans frustrated. Saturdays still looked promising, with strong qualifying results. But Sundays, the team often stumbled when it mattered most. Then came the blow in China. A double disqualification at the Grand Prix hit hard, not only inside the team but also across the Ferrari fanbase, who have grown tired of watching their team lose due to preventable mistakes. It wasn't a technical masterpiece that failed. It was simple oversight. For a team with such a rich history, the moment was embarrassing. It looked less like bad luck and more like poor management. That weekend in China became a turning point, not just in the standings, but in perception. For many, it confirmed what insiders had quietly feared. Ferrari, despite their talent and resources, still hadn't fixed the basics. But beneath all the headlines about penalties and poor strategy, another story was unfolding. One that hinted at a bigger shift inside the team. Lewis Hamilton wasn't just there to drive fast. He was changing how the entire operation functioned. According to a report that surfaced in a well-known Italian publication, Hamilton's effect on the team has been far more influential than anyone outside the paddock realized. It's not just about his pace on the track, it's about how he carries himself behind the scenes. From the first team meetings of 2025, people close to the situation say his presence changed the energy. There's now a sharper tone in briefings, more direct feedback, and a clearer sense of who's accountable for what. What's more, Hamilton isn't simply adjusting to Ferrari's long-established ways, he's nudging the team toward new habits. During internal discussions, he's been known to mention how certain things were handled at Mercedes. One particular quote reportedly caught attention. "This is how we did it at Brackley and it worked." According to the source, this wasn't arrogance. It was leadership. It was a veteran driver holding up a mirror, showing the team how it could be done better. And through all of this, the name Peter Bonnington kept coming up. Though still at Mercedes, insiders say Hamilton has quietly made it known that real success doesn't just depend on the machine, it's about who's behind the controls. He wants familiar voices around him, people he trusts. And for Hamilton, nobody fits that description better than Bono. What makes this situation so unusual is Ferrari's willingness to change their ways. Traditionally, this is a team known for expecting newcomers to adapt. Drivers, engineers, even team principals have historically been asked to blend into Ferrari's culture, not the other way around. But with Hamilton, things are different. For the first time in decades, it seems like Ferrari is bending its system to fit around a driver, not forcing the driver to conform. And Lewis, he's handling it with the calm control of a veteran who knows exactly what's at stake. Still, not everything is running smoothly. Riccardo Adami, Hamilton's current race engineer at Ferrari, is a seasoned pro. He's worked with champions like Sebastian Vettel and has earned respect throughout the paddock. He's calm under pressure and deeply familiar with Ferrari's internal machinery. But even with all his experience, something's off. The connection between Adami and Hamilton doesn't quite feel synchronized. The issues haven't been huge, but they've been noticeable. Delays in decision-making, mismatched feedback during sessions, and unclear direction on car setup have all hinted at a lack of rhythm between the two. And in Formula One, where split seconds matter, that kind of disconnect can be costly. Inside the garage, a quiet conversation has begun. Maybe Adami would be more effective in a factory-based role, where his experience could still shine without the pressure of race day coordination. Meanwhile, Ferrari isn't taking chances. Their second attempt to bring Bonnington on board hasn't been a low-key inquiry. This time, it's a serious push, strategic and deliberate. They're not just reaching out, they're laying out a major proposal. The offer reportedly includes far more than just money. It includes authority, a say in how the 2026 car is shaped, and a brand new title that reflects a leadership position, lead performance. Engineer Ferrari isn't simply trying to bring in a voice for the team radio. They're after something far bigger, someone who can help lay down a foundation for sustained success. They've seen what happens when things are left to chance. Years of close calls, missed opportunities, and a rotating door of leadership. In Bonnington, they see more than an engineer. They see stability. They see someone who brings order when things start to spiral, and above all, they see a man who knows how to win. What's even more telling is how Ferrari is willing to shift power internally to make space for him. In a place that's often been resistant to outside influence, that's no small move. Giving Bonnington such a large role means changing how decisions are made at the core level. But Ferrari understands something critical. 2026 isn't just another year, it's a fresh start, with new regulations and a chance to reset. If they mess this up, it could cost them another entire era. Meanwhile, Mercedes isn't sitting still. Toto Wolff knows exactly how important Bono is, not just to Hamilton, but to the future of the team itself. Reports suggest that Wolff has put together a powerful counteroffer. It's not just about keeping Bonnington around, it's about giving him more say in strategy, more influence across both race day decisions and the development of the car, and most importantly, a key role in mentoring young talents like Kimi.